Hey everybody, I'm Mayor, coach of Letting on a Prayer, and we have started Season 3 of the Chill Draft League. So our Season 3 Draft League is actually going to be Series 10. In case you're not aware of what that quite entails, basically there's two big things. First, there's no Dynamax slot this time. As somebody who started during the whole Dynamax era, not having that around is a bit of a change, so hopefully this season goes well. And then the other thing that's new about Series 10 is that we get to pick one restricted legendary. Restricted legendary meaning one of the really big boys like Mewtwo, Lugia, Rayquaza, Dialga, etc. As you can see from the screen up right here, the one I've gone with is Eternatus. So, full disclosure, this is actually week 2 right now. We played week 1 last week, and that was a showdown match, and showdown I don't think makes the best videos, so we just played that one, and there is no video for it. If you're curious, that was against Kanan from the Tulsa Drillbers, who we've played against in our previous 2 seasons. It was a tough battle, but we managed to win against his Reshiram team 2-1. This week, we are up against somebody else we've played before in Chill Draft League. This is Sting Like a Ribombee, who stomped us 0-2 last season. I'd like to get a little revenge, although he's already flexing on all of us hard this season with his monotype psychic draft. Well, this is good and bad for me because I drafted Eternatus, the poison type who's psychic weak. This is also good for me though because I have Urshifu who can eat most of this team alive. In fact, with a choice band, I think that it pretty much one-shots everything, including the neutral stuff like Tapu Lele. Outside of just the obvious type constraints though, the main thing that I want to point out about his team is just how much utility it has, aside from the psychic terrain. He's got Follow Me with Indeedee, he's got Prankster Meowstic stuff if he wants to go dual screens. There's 2 very good Trick Room setters in Oranguru and Reuniclus. There's Jinx who can do Fake Out and Lovely Kiss, and it's just a good special attacker. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is Sigilyph. Sigilyph has a pretty big move pool, some cool abilities, and a lot of type coverage. It has a bunch of things like Heat Wave, I think it's Energy Ball, Dark Pulse, Flash Cannon, it can just hit a bunch of different stuff. And then it also has some really important utility moves, the most prominent of which is Tailwind. This gives my opponent the ability to play very much at his own pace, since he can set Tailwind, set Trick Room, Follow Me, and cut off priority with Psychic Terrain whenever he chooses. Needless to say, I don't expect this to be easy. So let's switch over to the 6 that I plan on bringing. Alright, here are the 6 that I will be bringing to the match this week. I don't think anything here is super unorthodox. Urshifu and Savali are just meant to be faster attackers, with their Steel and Dark type attacks giving them perfect coverage against my opponent. Type Null is pretty similar, except that it's slower. It's probably going to function more in the Trick Room sweeping capacity. It's got Bug and Ghost moves as well, which is also perfect coverage. So Swampert here is it's functioning as the defensive piece. Wide Guard is super important this week because with Psychic Terrain and a whole team of Psychic types, I really have to make sure that I can shut down just expanding forces, just hitting both of my team. Next, Bronzong. I think defensively it's also very important here this week since it double resists Psychic and single resists Fairy. This is also going to facilitate me in maintaining speed control since it can set or reset Trick Room. And more importantly, I think Speed Swap can be very helpful here since I can disrupt how fast my opponent can go, or I can make myself slower if I want something unusual to be a Trick Room sweeper. Finally, I have Tornadus. This is probably the Pokemon I'm least likely to bring, but I wanted to make sure that I could at least threaten Tailwind, because I think that Tornadus Urshifu looks like a pretty easy lead for my opponent to prep against, and while I don't know if I'm ever going to actually bring that, I do want to at least threaten it. I'm not sure Mental Herb is the ideal item here, but I wasn't sure what else to bring. This Tornadus has like no bulk into it because I wanted to make sure it was at max speed so that it would outrun my opponent's Espeon if he wanted to bring it. And it doesn't have many prankster moves because I can't, use a lot of prankster stuff on my opponent if he's got Psychic Terrain set. Aside from that, I don't think there's anything really left to say, so let's jump into the match. Alright, here we are at the battle. So I've kind of made one small change. I did end up taking the Mental Herb off of Tornadus and adding a Citrus Berry since I didn't think the Mental Herb would actually be doing that much. Okay, no Sigilif, and that's a good thing. The Espeon is interesting. I know it gets Dazzling Gleam. Maybe a speed swap type thing? The Tapu Lele is also expected. The Jinx is interesting. I still think I'm going to go with my original plan of, where is it? Silvally, Bronzong, Urshifu in the back, and now what do I want my last one to be? I think Swampert, just because I am worried about Dazzling Gleams, and Swampert's Wide Guard can stop those. And if this doesn't work, we'll mix it up in the next game. I'm assuming my opponent is going to lead Lele, just because you have to go very hard into me leading Urshifu. Because if they let Urshifu go unchecked, I mean, Urshifu just can really do a lot of damage. Lele and Espeon, there we go. So I don't think that I want to speed swap right now, even though it is tempting to get that onto the Umbreon, or onto the Espeon there. However, I don't think my team is particularly threatened. Although I'm sure my opponent has something planned. I think I'm just going to multi-attack into Tapu Lele, Heavy Slam into Espeon. Okay, I wondered if they'd have Shadow Ball on there. That makes sense. Also, since the Lele's going first, this tells me it's a Scarfed Tapu Lele. Double Shadow Ball. Interesting. Okay, that's fine. No Babiri Berry, so one shot. So we each trade a Pokemon apiece. Okay, what do I expect you to do next? I'm not sure. I'm going to play it safe and go for Swampert. Indeedy, okay. So, what do I feel like doing right here? I will multi-attack at the Espeon, and I want to... That Indeedee could get very annoying, so I will yawn the Indeedee. Shadow Ball. Okay, not too much. That did... Wow, that did a lot. Was that a crit? No, that was just a one-shot. Okay. Go Silvally. Expanding Force. This is actually really good for me because now that Indeedee can't switch out, that Yawn's just going to put it to sleep. Necrozma. Okay. So what I kind of want to do here actually is Parting Shot the Necrozma, and I want to yawn into it as well. Oh no, I should have done that because Indeedee will follow me to redirect the yawn. But if this is well, what can Necrozma launch at Urshifu that will... Okay, yeah, no, actually this is fine because no matter what happens. I don't think that Necrozma has any moves that will one-shot my Urshifu. Not only that, but Urshifu has a Focus Sash. So yeah, that was a dumb move by me. I'm also okay with Silvally coming in the back. So Urshifu. Moongeist Beam. Okay. That still hits really hard. Oh, that was crit. That's why. Okay, excellent. So, we'll just Wicked Blow into Necrozma, and I guess this is as good a time as any to reveal the Darkest Lariat. Or maybe I should have detected with Urshifu to potentially scout out a Colbur Berry, the Dark Resisting Berry, on Necrozma. I'm moving too fast. I need to slow down. Okay, there's no Colbur Berry. That's good. One shot. Okay, crit. Well, the Wicked Blow always crits. What am I saying? The Indeedee is holding the Colbur Berry. Okay. That move looks really silly on Swampert. I love it. So Wicked Blow. Darkest Lariat. Alright, that was a pretty solid game one for us. We didn't reveal Speed Swap on Bronzong, we didn't reveal Protect on Bronzong, and we did not reveal the Wide Guard on Swampert. So we should have, we should still have some tricks up our sleeves for Game 2 and Game 3 if we need it. Same team. And let the battle begin. So now, if you're my opponent, how do you want to switch this up? Do you maybe want to try and Trick Room? Do you want to try... Oh, there's just so many questions about how my opponent might want to approach this. I think this time I lead Bronzong... How do I do this? How do I do this? Yeah, I think I'm going to try a Bronzong... Urshifu lead, maybe? Do I want to do that? I'm just trying to think, how do you switch it up? I'm thinking you either go Trick Room or something like a Rangaroo, or you go Jinx and you start trying to put me to sleep. Yeah, I think what I want to do here actually is Bronzong Urshifu. I want type Null, because it resists all those Shadow Balls. Well, actually, it's immune to all those Shadow Balls. And then, finally, do I want Silvally or do I want Swampert? Silvally was really solid last game. But I really like... Yeah, I'm going to go for Swampert just because I really like the extra defense it provides. I feel like we have enough offense as is. Indeedee Necrozma. Okay, okay. I wonder if... You know what? They might just try and Moongeist Beam my Bronzong immediately. So I think I will swap over to... Oh no, wait, I haven't revealed this yet. I can just protect the Bronzong, so I don't need to switch. And I will just throw the... I will threaten the Wicked Blow into Necrozma. If it wants to go for a defensive play like Trick Room, that's okay. If it wants to go for an offensive play like a Moongeist Beam to try and one-shot my Bronzong, although it's already revealed the Ghost Resist Berry, so we'll see if that even happens. That's also okay. It still does a lot even through the berry. Dragon Pulse into Urshifu, that's very interesting. Okay. So I'm going to Heavy Slam the Indeedee this time, and I will Detect with Urshifu. The idea here is I just want to get rid of Follow Me. Alright, and there it goes. That's good. Moongeist Beam. Here's that berry helping me out. Let's make sure that it's enough, though. That still did a lot. Wow. I'm really glad I had the Cassette Berry on it, because my opponent just read this play like a book. Excellent. So there's Espeon. Espeon's gotta have like Dazzling Gleam or something. Which does put my Urshifu in a really tricky spot. So what I'm thinking is I want to protect Bronzong here. And I will change. You know what? No, let's go get my free turn right now. I'm going to swap Titan Null in right here. I take it back. I keep going back, I know that, but I'm going to protect Bronzong right now. And I will change Swampert in over here. I'm trying to read into the Moongeist Beam going into Bronzong again. Yep, Dazzling Gleam. Moongeist Beam, protected. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to swap Bronzong into Tide Null. And I'm going to yawn that. So do I want to yawn the Espeon or do I want to yawn the Necrozma? I will yawn. I think the Necrozma is a bigger threat. I want to get it off the field. Oranguru. Okay. Well, this is fine because Masavali slows. If he tries to do something like Trick Room, this works out. In fact, both of these Pokemon are pretty slow. I think Oranguru and Swampert have the same base speed stat. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So now I want to throw out a Swords Dance into Titan Null. This looks like a good opportunity. And I want to... Okay, what do you do if you're my opponent? Do you launch an Expanding Force? I assume you launch an Expanding Force, right? I'm going to throw a Wide Guard, because I don't really know what else my opponent does here. Trick Room, maybe? Just to cover for Expanding Force. That's my main concern here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, my Titan Null is faster than the Lingaroo, maybe? Oh, negative priority, that's what happened here. That's okay. Psychic Terrain's gone, that's nice. And this actually works out really well for me because... You can see that is Titan Null. So I'm going to Shadow Claw that Espeon. And I will just throw a Yawn into the Oranguru. That's annoying, but that's okay. Yep, with Sword Stance, it's one shot. Alright, Necrozma. Now Titanol should be slower than that Necrozma, so I'm going to throw another Shadow Claw into it, and I'll Darkest Lariat the Oranguru. While Trick Room's active, I have no intention of just keeping Swampert, like switching Swampert out. I will just stall that as much as I can so Urshifu can come in and just start breaking things. Brutal Swing is interesting. Weakness Policy Necrozma. Oh! And it's going to take Symbiosis, right? Oh, it's not Symbiosis Oranguru? Oh, I'm not sure. I was worried that it was like Oranguru holding Iron Ball, and then Symbiosis would have given its item, like an Iron Ball, to Necrozma, but that's not what ended up happening, so I guess it's alright. Expanding Force. Type Null tanks that really well. And X-Scissor. Perfect. Alright, that wraps this game up. GG's to my opponent. And if we can get another video out, I'll see you guys next week.